Okay, so once in a while when you're doing lab activities or assignment activities rather for class, in this case the example would be for GIS applications at Indiana State University, but this applies to many classes both at ISU and elsewhere. But sometimes you'll be doing a lab and you realize maybe for cartographic purposes or for data editing purposes that you need to make a change. Maybe delete some features, move them, change their attributes, etc. So to do that, you need to start what's called an editing session. So we have our ArcMap window open here, and whatever data you're going to work with, you want to have them here and open in the view. And what you do is right-click on a blank part of the toolbar and go ahead to and find Editor. Click on this, and then a new toolbar will arrive, or appear rather. Then to start your editing session, you click on the down arrow, or this button here that says Editor with a down arrow, and click Start Editing. At this stage, if you have your edit tool selected, you can select any feature and do quite a bit of things to it, including delete it. You can actually click on it to select it and then move it. I wouldn't recommend doing this, but if you have good reason to, or you know the data are being used for cartographic purposes only, you might want to do that. Note that during an edit session, things like Control-Z on your keyboard, which is undo, work. Same thing with the edit menu here. You can go redo or undo to change things back. And also the editor menu, when you're in an editing session, you can make changes to an attribute table. So here's an attribute table. Maybe I realized that the nitrogen level of this particular location is not L for low, but H for high. I can make that change there. And then finally, we can even add or remove features using this Create Features tool, which is you can access by clicking here on the toolbar. We can add more points and even edit those points' attributes by clicking on the Attribute tab here, add in any values we might want. So that would be just a really brief introduction to the editor tool. It's actually quite complicated. In most of my classes, we'll either be creating simple features or editing features that exist. But there are plenty of tools here for scaling, for adding vertices to lines or line segments, flipping things, and there's even advanced editing toolbars that are available. And snapping options, etc. There's tons of things, which if you want to spend more time getting to know, you should let your instructor know. There are self-guided trainings on how to do this and plenty of resources out there on best practices for editing and creating geographic data. Finally, when you're done editing, you want to go to Editor and save edits, or save edits and then stop editing. If you don't save your edits first, it'll ask you if you want to save them. If you make a big mistake, a big boo-boo, and you don't want it to be saved, you would want to say no, and it will restore your edits at this stage, okay, back to where they were when you started editing, and close out your editing session. This is a nice feature if you make a mistake or a cat jumps on your computer or something like that, but it is no, once you don't save your edits, you can't go back and like not save them, if you will. You can't recover edits that you've made at that point. You have to start over again. Anyway, that's a really brief introduction to the editor toolbar and starting an editing session. And I encourage you to contact your instructor if you have any questions about this, how to do it, or context for when and how you might edit or create data using this tool.